Let's go back to the story view form and discuss the option we left out in the introductory video. The object displayed in red in the printout of a generated story, the perform action button, and the two buttons IO and SC that stand for input-output verification and semantic coherence verification. What are they all about? Let's select a primary complex to be shown in the form. An answer to that question requires understanding a fundamental aspect of any data collection project. How reliable are the data collected? Do the output data coded in PCAs from input source documents accurately reflect the input? An answer to that new question will require checking an output against the input or input-output verification. This is of course a somewhat costly approach to data quality control, depending upon the number of documents to be checked and how easily accessible the original source documents are. Acceptance sampling may be the only realistic approach to input-output verification, but a coding scheme based on a story grammar provides a quicker and cheaper alternative to input-output verification: semantic coherence verification. Indeed, as we saw in the introductory video on the story view form, the main characteristic of the printout generated by the story view routine is that it's very easy to read the output as a story. As a result, the output must make sense to any competent user of a language. For example, it must possess semantic coherence. The story view form provides a great tool for checking the reliability of the coded data. With all that in mind, let's see how this form can help in verifying data and what you can do. What you can do depends upon your administrative privileges in the database, if you have login with verifier or administrator privileges or with user privileges. Currently, I am signed in with administrator privileges, and let's see which options are available to me as administrator. Let's first understand the meaning of the color red found in the story printout. Let's double-click on any red string, here for example, and it opens a verifier's comment form where a verifier or an administrator has left a comment for a user. As a verifier or administrator in the database, if I double-click on any object displayed, I can add a verifier's comment to the user who coded the data, and the form automatically picks up both user and verifier name, assigns the comment with verifier's name, and puts the user who coded the data in the text box comment for the attention of. I get the same result if I click on the perform action button here, and the action allowed is listed in the text box here, action, view, edit, verifier comments. Let's try that on an object, for example this one. I can double click or click on the perform action button, and now I can add a new comment on this object by clicking on the add button here. If you do not want to see verifier's comments in the output story, untick the verifier comments tick box right here, and here we go. We can generate the story again, and the comments are gone. We don't see red strings anymore in the text. Let's now see what happens when you click on the Open Document button right here. The code behind it will open the document cross-reference to the selected object, so we can just choose one and then click on the Open Document button here from this form. Upon closing the document, you will get this message. So if you read the input document and compared it to the output code, you would have carried out input versus output verification, and you would want to keep a record that you did. And as you can see, PCAs has added a tick in this verified checkbox corresponding to this document. Let's now log out of the database as administrator and log on as Mary or Paul, for whom we left some verifier's comments. Since I don't remember their passwords, let's open the users and permission form to retrieve them. We go to the dbSetup function, dbSetup, and set up users and permission. And from here we can see all the usernames and their password. In this case, we will log in as Mary and use the password son. So we can go ahead and log out. And now log in. Now let's return to the story view form by pressing F5. We select the previously selected primary complex, and now we have the story with the comment that John left for Mary. Now double click on a comment. If the comment is not for you, as a user nothing happens. If it is for you, then it will turn to orange, which means you dealt with the comment by clicking on the Go To button or on the Perform Action button. And we are done with this tutorial. Always try to build one form or another of data verification, not just when you work on larger projects with several users involved in coding data. Do it even if you are a lonely user of the database wearing different hats, coder, verifier, or administrator. In this case, set up two different accounts for yourself, one as user wearing the coder's hat, and one as verifier or administrator. This will allow you to see the different things that you can do as user and verifier or administrator.